Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 2227 simply adds clarifying language to state that abortion does not include the use of contraceptives, including a device, medical, biological product, or procedure that is intended for the use in the prevention of pregnancy, whether specifically intended to prevent pregnancy or for other health needs, or the disposal of embryos resulting from fertility treatments, including healthcare services, procedures, testing, medications, treatments, or products. And so we just want to clarify that, again, abortion does not include use of contraceptives or things like IVF. We know that we have situations where when we pass bills sometimes there's not clarification around what it does or does not do. And this bill was brought to bring that clarification so that persons will be specifically understanding what is not included and what is included in these definitions.
So we're ready. We will go out of session and call up the first one.
Thank you, Chair Lady and committee members. My name is Kelly Nowers. I'm here in support of HB 2227, and I'm speaking today in my role as a mom, mom to a 17-month-old son who is here today, eating some grapes behind me, and mom to a little girl that is due in September, and I'm proud to say both of them are IVF babies. After close to a year of trying to grow our family, my husband and I sat in our doctor's office as she told us the only way we'd be able to have children was through assisted reproductive care, specifically in vitro fertilization or IVF. I spent the next 6 months undergoing multiple procedures and following strict medical regimens to prepare my body for egg retrieval and embryo transfer. All of this prior to the incredibly difficult and risky experience of simply being pregnant for 9 months and one of the worst states for maternal health outcomes. Approximately 1 in 6 couples are affected by infertility in the United States, which means my husband and I join about 6.7 million people each year who have trouble conceiving. We were privileged to have the accessibility and opportunity to benefit from IVF, which unfortunately cannot be said by everyone who experiences this. I'm here today because I fear that misinformation conflating the definition of abortion threatens access to birth control and fertility care, both of which remain legal in Tennessee. When legislatures and courts like the one in Alabama makes decisions and rulings that inadvertently impact access to fertility treatment, it spreads panic among Tennesseans who are relying on this needed care to build their families, and panic among the physicians that are providing that care. The bill before you is simple and straightforward by documenting in law that fertility care and contraceptives are different and separate medical treatments and are legal for Tennesseans, aligning Tennessee with every leading legal and medical organization. I urge you to vote yes on this bill to protect the access that so many Tennesseans, including myself and my family, rely on to make important decisions about building their family. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more questions? We've got Dr. Kumar's next.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Apologize if this question is personal, but the question would be, did you have excess embryos during your journey, and what did you do with them?
I do feel comfortable answering yes, we did have extra viable embryos. We made the decision of what to do with those embryos in consultation with our doctor and our family, so.
Well, thank you. That's all. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Representative Clemens.
This is a very simple, straightforward piece of legislation, just seeking to protect that access that was described earlier. And it's actually bipartisan. I think Alabama's considering it. We heard all the southern states that have passed this type of legislation, and I was actually even shocked, to be honest with you, rightly or wrongly, that the former President Trump has publicly touted his support of in vitro fertilization or IVF, and has called on the Alabama legislature to act quickly and protect this type of care. I'm excited that this is an opportunity for this state to do what is right in this instance and make sure we clarify this language to protect access.
Do want to point out that even though we're talking about this being clarifying language, to me, there's actually more confusing language in this, in that the laws we currently have, and as the testimony we just had, both IVF and contraception is legal in the state of Tennessee. And even after the ruling that came down in Alabama, there's even articles about doctors who have clinics, IVF clinics, getting potentially their patients and potentially the embryos sent to them. And so it is legal here in Tennessee, and there's not something that anybody's doing to not make that legal here in Tennessee. In fact, we do have a AG's opinion that came out that said, no, the Human Life Protection Act only applies when a woman has a living unborn child within her body. But when you put confusing language in there, it makes it harder to defend, and it puts the unborn at risk. And this amendment, as it is written, will allow for selective abortion during IVF. So with that, I will be voting no on this bill.
Now, I'm just a little confused. Our intent here is not to allow abortions after that embryo has been brought into the mother and brought alive. Is that correct?
This conversation right here, I think, justifies the need for the bill. I'm being very serious.
Representative Love, Leader
Yes.
Love, is it your intent in the language of this legislation, the use of the word embryos, to refer to an embryo that has been implanted or before it is implanted?
Before.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Clemens,
Aye.
Farmer. Himmer,
Aye.
Kumar. No. Rudder. No. Terry. No. Travis. Madam Chairman.
No.
5 noes, 3 ayes.
Okay, the bill fails.